Bonk.
Don't play, honey.
I used my library card for the Libby app so I could check out more books. Although I'm already reading quite a bit, these are poetry books, and so far it's made me so excited. There's so many colorful words used to describe what may seem mundane. So far, my favorite line I've read is how to drink water when there is wine. It makes me want to write my own poetry books. I write poetry in my notes app at times, but I'd love to have them all together. A collective book of my own thoughts. The other day, aka Monday, it was snowing and I took mushrooms alone for the first time. At first I felt nauseous and it was a bit much. I felt my body losing control. It made it very difficult to walk and talk and dress. But then I closed my eyes and I saw kaleidoscope images along with the image of a butterfly, and I felt a wave of calm wash over me. Then we went outside and the snow felt so light and free. There's something about the snow that makes it easy to return to childlike wonder. But instead, I suddenly felt in tune with all of the deer that I've seen around my neighborhood. I began to wonder how they felt about the snow and how they'd frolic, leaving small traces behind. I began to think about the forest that was here before all of the homes as I sat on the small piece of forest remaining. I turned around to hug a tree, but I ended up tripping and sliding and falling to the ground. I had been thinking while I was outside that there was an issue of a lack of a seat, but when I fell, I realized there was a seat everywhere that I stood. But my arms feel like weaker today than yesterday. Bonk.
Don't play, honey.
When I fell, I wasn't mad. I just laid on the snow, watching it all fall on the ground as I laid on my side. I wondered as I cozied into a ball if this is what it's like to be a rock, watching the seasons pass me by. I too would be a rock by a river. After a while, I had forgot I even fell, because it was nice to just be there for once. It made me look at falling different. I was able to release control and be happy with where life wanted me to be instead of where I thought I should be. Eventually, I got up and I talked to the tree, and I was happy. It made me realize I hadn't read one of my favorite books in a while, The Giving Tree. I watched the ducks try to swim upstream before deciding that the current was too much. They decided going with the flow was better than resisting. I went to the playground and played. I thought, what a cool job it must be to design parks. It's probably really fun, too. I'm not sure if the goal was to learn anything on this trip, but I saw how nature could easily be a teacher. I enjoyed being taught. I enjoyed being able to be open to anything that could occur, and it didn't feel lonely. I felt like I could be everything and anything. Thank you for the fun. Also, the snow melting on the log looked really trippy. 10 out of 10, I would definitely do that again. This is my starter. I need to add more flour and water. Well, I'm actually supposed to discard half of it first, so actually I need to do that. But I know my mom wants some, so I'm gonna discard so she can have some. It smells just as stinky as you would think. Wow, that's going in there. Just put that right there. Grab a cup of flour. Actually, I left the directions upstairs. I can't remember if it's a cup or half a cup the next day. I just know at some point you're supposed to switch to half a cup. And then a cup of water. Oh, I've been using filtered water. Forgot. Like stars finally getting the chance to touch the ground, their light covered all things in a blanket of white, ready to submerge the earth, but in feathers and flight.